New York City, a place of constant motion, where the streets are always alive with activity, a symphony of human energy, where every step and every sound contributes to the city's unique rhythm. But even the city that never sleeps feels the chill when the polar vortex comes to town, bringing with it a deep freeze that touches every corner. And this week, it's bringing the full force of winter with it, transforming the bustling metropolis into a winter wonderland. Across the 5 boroughs, New Yorkers are preparing for a blast of Arctic air, layering up and bracing themselves for the cold. The familiar sights and sounds of the city take on a different tone as people bundle up in layers, their breath forming frosty clouds in the air, a visible reminder of the freezing temperatures. The usual hustle and bustle seems a little slower, a little more cautious, as if the city itself is bracing for the cold, moving with a deliberate pace. The sidewalks, usually teeming with pedestrians, are a bit less crowded as people opt to stay indoors or take extra care while navigating the icy paths. The outdoor dining scene, a staple of the pandemic era, is on hold as restaurants prepare for the deep freeze, their patios and seating areas covered in snow. Even the iconic yellow taxis seem to be moving a bit slower, their horns honking a little less impatiently as drivers navigate the slippery streets with care. But the city's spirit? That's as resilient as ever, with New Yorkers facing the cold with determination and a smile. New Yorkers are a tough breed, accustomed to weathering whatever storms, literal or figurative, come their way, always ready to lend a hand to a neighbor in need. This cold snap is just another challenge to overcome, another opportunity to show the world that New York City can handle anything, no matter how harsh the conditions. So what exactly is a polar vortex? Imagine a swirling mass of frigid air, usually locked away in the Arctic. It's like a giant refrigerator keeping the North Pole cold. But sometimes this refrigerator door swings open, allowing that icy air to escape southward. And when it does, temperatures plummet. Here in New York City, we're talking about a dramatic shift from our relatively mild winter so far. This isn't just a case of needing a heavier coat, this is the kind of cold that seeps into your bones that makes you want to stay inside and hibernate until spring. The arrival of the polar vortex is a stark reminder that winter is far from over. It's a wake-up call for those who may have become complacent, lulled into a false sense of security by the unseasonably warm days we've experienced recently. But this is New York City. We don't back down from a challenge. We adapt, we overcome, and we keep moving forward. As the polar vortex descends, forecasters are predicting bone-chilling temperatures. We're talking about highs struggling to reach the 20s and lows plummeting into the single digits. And that's before you factor in the wind chill, which could make it feel like it's below zero. These temperatures are nothing to scoff at. Prolonged exposure to this kind of cold can be dangerous, leading to hypothermia and frostbite. It's crucial to take precautions and limit your time outdoors, especially during the overnight and early morning hours when temperatures are at their lowest. This is especially true for vulnerable populations, like the elderly and those experiencing homelessness. City officials are urging residents to check on their neighbors, particularly those who live alone or may have difficulty getting around. Warming centers are being opened across the city to provide refuge from the cold. These centers offer a safe and warm place for people to escape the elements, and they can be a lifeline for those who might otherwise be forced to spend the night outdoors in dangerous conditions. Along with the frigid temperatures, there's another question on everyone's minds. Will it snow? The answer, as with many things in life, is it depends. The latest models show a chance of snow flurries, but the exact timing and accumulation remain uncertain. Some forecasts suggest a dusting to an inch or two, while others hint at the possibility of a more significant snowfall. The uncertainty can be frustrating, especially for those who rely on public transportation or need to plan their commutes. But one thing is for sure, the city is prepared. The Department of Sanitation has its fleet of salt spreaders and snow plows at the ready, poised to spring into action at a moment's notice. They're veterans of many a winter storm, ready to battle the elements and keep the city's streets as clear and safe as possible. In the meantime, we wait. We watch the skies, we check the forecasts, and we brace ourselves for whatever Mother Nature throws our way. Section 5. Staying ahead of the storm. The National Weather Service. In times like these, information is key. That's where the National Weather Service comes in. They're the experts, the ones tracking the polar vortex's every move and providing us with the most up-to-date forecasts and warnings. Their website and social media feeds are invaluable resources, offering detailed information about expected temperatures, wind chill values, and any potential precipitation. They also issue alerts and advisories, keeping us informed about any hazardous weather conditions. But it's not just about checking the forecast once a day. Weather conditions can change rapidly, especially during a cold snap. It's important to stay informed and check for updates regularly. Sign up for text alerts, download weather apps, and pay attention to local news broadcasts. Being prepared and staying informed can make all the difference when it comes to weathering the storm. Section 6. Winter's Crystal Ball. A look at the months ahead. This polar vortex is a stark reminder that winter is far from over. The icy grip of winter continues to hold strong, affecting millions across the region. But what does the rest of the season hold in store? Are we in for more of the same? Or will there be a shift in the weather patterns? Will we see more cold snaps like this one? Or will milder temperatures prevail? The uncertainty keeps everyone on their toes, from meteorologists to everyday citizens. The truth is, predicting the weather is a complex business. It involves a deep understanding of atmospheric science and advanced technology. Long-range forecasts are notoriously fickle, subject to a multitude of variables that can shift and change on a dime. Even the smallest change can have a significant impact. But there are some clues we can look to, some indicators that can give us a glimpse into the months ahead. These indicators help us make educated guesses about future weather conditions. One such indicator is the North Atlantic Oscillation, or NAO for short. This atmospheric phenomenon plays a crucial role in shaping our weather. It's a measure of the pressure difference between the Icelandic low and the Azores high, two large-scale atmospheric features that influence weather patterns across the North Atlantic region. These pressure differences can dictate the flow of weather systems. When the NAO is in a positive phase, as it is currently, it tends to bring colder and drier than average conditions to the eastern United States, including New York City. This phase can lead to extended periods of cold weather. This suggests that the potential for further cold snaps and winter storms remains elevated. Residents should be prepared for more winter weather challenges in the coming months. Section 7, the North Atlantic Oscillation, a wild card in the forecast. The North Atlantic Oscillation, it sounds like something out of a science fiction movie, but it's very real and has a direct impact on the weather we experience here in New York City. This phenomenon can shape our winters in ways we might not expect. Think of it like a giant seesaw in the atmosphere, constantly tipping back and forth. On one side you have the Icelandic low, a center of low pressure near Iceland, which can bring stormy and unsettled weather. On the other side you have the Azores high, a center of high pressure near the Azores Islands, often associated with calmer and more stable conditions. The difference in pressure between these two systems drives the strength and direction of the winds across the North Atlantic, influencing weather patterns far and wide. When the NAO is in a positive phase, the pressure difference between the Icelandic low and the Azores high is greater, leading to stronger westerly winds that sweep across the ocean. These winds act like a conveyor belt, bringing mild and moist air from the Atlantic Ocean towards Europe, while simultaneously pushing cold Arctic air southward towards the eastern United States, including New York City. So, what does this mean for New York City? It means that our weather can be quite unpredictable. It means that as long as the NAO remains in a positive phase, the potential for further cold snaps and winter storms remains elevated, making it essential to stay prepared. It doesn't necessarily mean we'll be buried in snow all winter, but it does suggest that winter is far from over. The NAO can bring sudden changes, so always keep an eye on the forecast. Section 8. Staying safe and warm in the concrete jungle. As New Yorkers, we're used to braving the elements. But this cold snap is a good reminder that even the toughest among us need to take precautions when temperatures plummet. So, what can you do to stay safe and warm during this Arctic blast? First and foremost, limit your time outdoors. If you have to venture out, dress in layers, covering as much exposed skin as possible. Hats, gloves, and scarves are your best friends in this kind of weather. Make sure your home is properly heated and insulated. Check on your neighbors, especially seniors and those with disabilities, to ensure they have adequate heat. And remember, if you're using space heaters, be sure to follow safety guidelines to prevent fires. Stay hydrated, even if you don't feel thirsty. Dehydration can sneak up on you in cold weather, so it's important to drink plenty of fluids, and avoid alcohol, as it can actually lower your body temperature. Section 9, until next time, winter. As the city that never sleeps hunkers down, bracing for the polar vortex's icy grip, one thing is clear. New Yorkers will face this challenge with their trademark resilience. We'll bundle up, we'll look out for each other, and we'll weather the storm together. Winter may have thrown us a curveball, but it's a reminder that we're a city prepared for anything. From the salt trucks gearing up to the warming centers opening their doors, New York City is ready to face the cold. And as we navigate the next few days of frigid temperatures and potential snowfall, let's remember the spirit of this city, a spirit of determination, compassion, and an unwavering belief that even in the depths of winter, spring is always on the horizon. Stay safe, New York.